Bonjour à tous et toutes, comment allez-vous? Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my YouTube channel on French with Anubhav. If you have already subscribed to my channel, press the bell icon to get the latest updates. In today's class, we'll be learning most probably the first topic of its kind in my channel, something related to writing skills, which is informal letter writing. Yes, you heard it right. For the first time, I'm gonna take a topic as such. So today's topic is informal letter in French. Like letter writing in CBSE exams also plays an important role. 10 marker is quite obvious that it comes in the exam. Like we have informal letter, we have the story writing on the basis of clues given, we have paragraph writing. So among all that, informal letter plays an important role. One more thing to be kept in mind, today we are discussing informal letter, not the formal letter. Informal letter is like we write to our acquaintances, we write to our family members, we write to our cousins, relatives, we can write to our friends, right? But if we need to write to our, say, to our principal or to our boss or to someone of high position, then it has to be of the formal one, right? Today we are doing informal letter. We'll be discussing the format, how to write it, and the common topics which come in exam. So let's get started. So first thing which we shall know about it, that whom to write an informal letter. We can write to our siblings, parents, grandparents, relatives, friends, even neighbors. That will also be included in this thing, what? Informal category. And so on. Second thing which we must know is the salutation or greetings. You can say either of these. We have two, one in the opening part and one in the closing or the concluding part of the letter. So the beginning should be with cher, but that cher depends on the person to whom you are writing. First one is CHER, cher. Cher means dear, of course, but cher is used for masculine singular subjects only, like cher ami without an E, cher père, dear father, cher papa can also be written, but père is also fine. Papa sounds informal, but it's acceptable, like papa for père and mama for man, MAMAN. These are acceptable. Now, if you're writing, say, to your mom or to your feminine friend, so share, then the subject, feminine singular, like dear mother or dear friend with E at the end. Okay, suppose now you're writing to your parents, you will move to share, CHERS, which is masculine plural, masculine plural, cher, cher parent, cher grand-parent, cher cousin, cher voisin, right? And again for feminine plural, if the person, people to whom you are writing, a lot of feminine people, like a group, so add an S here. For example, cher ami. Feminine friends are there, more than one. So dear friends, this subject to be used. Then voisine, cuisine. Basically for feminine plural, share is to be used. That was all for the opening salutation. Now coming towards the closing salutation. Moving towards the closing salutation, like we have in English, yours truly, yours sincerely, yours faithfully, like that. But here we don't have many, we have limited only. So, BISES, BISES, it means tight hugs, kisses, right? If we put grow, like BISES is hugs, grow BISES tight hugs, then one may conclude the letter rather by saying abbianto. Abbianto, we have already discussed, see you soon. And after that, you can also write, no, fine, BISES is fine, go BISES, abbianto. These are perfect for an informal letter. For formal, these must be different. And after these salutations comes the name part. If in the question, like you are writing an exam, write a letter to this, your name is this. If the name is given, that name has to be written here. That you are, suppose Peter, you are writing a letter to your friend describing a trip to Paris. So, BISES Peter or abbianto Peter. Or you can think of any other fictitious name, not your original name, during the exam, particularly board examination. And if you are thinking of some fictitious, it's rather better than to move to what many people do, simply writing XYZ or ABC. Like it's very simple, you don't need to think too much. You can simply write XYZ ABC at the end of letter, right? Grow BISES XYZ, abbianto ABC. Very simple to do. These were the small things which I wanted to discuss before starting the format of informal letter. And now let's move to the format. Now, let's begin with the format. Most probably the third point which I'm writing, format. First and the foremost thing, making a box. Like in my school, my teacher told that if box is not made, some marks, say half or 1 mark, can be deducted because box is a part of informal letter in French. It is an essential part. It has to be enclosed within a box. One more tip which I would like to give. Make lines on the 3 sides. Don't put the line at the bottom. Suppose your letter exceeds that. So you have to cut that line and then you have to make that line again. That would really look not nice. It won't be nice in appearance. That would look untidy. So for keeping it tidy, make the 3 lines, and the moment you complete your letter after the salutation, leave a line for the sake of neatness and then close it. That's the perfect way to write a letter. Starting from the right hand side corner, you may leave a line at the top for the sake of neatness again and write the place. Say I'm in Delhi right now, so I'll be writing Delhi. Then the date, today is 24th March, so le 24e Mars, and today the day is Mardi, Tuesday. So, what can we conclude? First the place, put a comma, put le, write the first part of the date in numerics and put the E, like 21st, 22nd, that ND, ST, E represents that, ordinal numbers, I hope you remember. Then write the month, and then in the next line, without leaving any line, write the day. Now, keeping the line of the day empty, write the opening salutation here, which is share. Share, I have discussed all the variants, like share, when to write share, when to write share with an E, when to write share without an E but with an S. I have discussed it just few minutes back. So share, then the person to whom you are writing, army, like in this context, army is the most suitable. Share army, share pair will also work, comma. Now, what some people do is like leaving a line after the after the opening salutation and before the closing salutation. I feel that this shouldn't be done. Okay, you want it to be neat, fine, write in good handwriting, write with proper grammar, it's fine, write correct spellings, that's okay. But leaving a line here is meaningless. So share army. Okay, now I'll be talking about how I start a letter, which like many other people also do the same thing. Share army. Como va tu? Now if you're writing to a father or someone elderly, you can't write como va tu, you have to be courteous. Como allez-vous? It's a basic courtesy that when you have started writing a letter, you should at least ask the person to whom you're writing that how are you? Then talk about yourself, that how are you there? Like je vais bien ici. I'm fine here. Now you may write that why have you written the letter? Aujourd'hui, like today, je, te or vous, again it depends, d'écrit, dash. Today, I'm going to describe you about the thing which is given in the question. Like it can be a trip, the place you have already visited. It can be a place you want to visit. It can be about a book. Like I'm talking about the very common questions, like about a book or a novel which you have recently read, which you really liked. It can be about how to stay healthy. It can be about general topics like ways of conserving the environment, use of television, use of internet. Like suppose your cousin spends whole day on mobile phones, he's not thinking of his health, he is becoming obese, so now you have to advise him how to stay healthy. A question can come like this, like je te décris comment on peut être en pleine forme, in a good health. How can one be in a good health? Now that's over for the first pair. First pair, don't exceed more than 2 to 3 lines, that's sufficient. Leave a line. It's always better to leave a line to differentiate between two paras. Second para is the main body, which is the largest paragraph of the letter. Okay, I have made the box. Don't get misleaded that the second para has to be in the box. I just wanted to present that here will be the body. So the second para is what? Where you describe everything. Suppose you get a travel based question and there you are to describe what all you did, how it went. Here you will write how were the people there, how was the weather, what all you visited, what all you ate, what was your experience, do you recommend it in future, what was your overall outlook of the place you visited, like that. If you're writing about it, the question can come off describing an accident, like how many people were involved in it, when it happened, how it happened, then the people taken to the hospital. You have to describe all that. About a book, okay, there are these chapters, it's by XYZ writer, he has talked about this, he has talked about that. You have to describe everything in say 60 to 70 words or 80 words. Like body is the main content in a letter. Here I am writing second para, which is the body. Like in my handwriting, I neither write too big nor too small, so I generally prefer writing like 12 to 13 lines. That's sufficient. But number of lines again depends on person to person. like handwriting also depends on person to person. And then the concluding part, the third para. Now, concluding can be done by saying, how I do is, c'est tout pour aujourd'hui. That's all for today. That's how I conclude my YouTube videos also. C'est tout pour aujourd'hui. That's all for today. Je, te, vous, again it depends. Attendez pour ta or votre, again it depends. Ta or votre lettre. C'est tout pour aujourd'hui. Je t'attendrai pour ta lettre. That's all for today. I'll be waiting for your letter. You can even add, like, if you are outside and if you're writing to our parents, then you can write that I will be coming to our place within 2 or 3 weeks or 2 months, like that also you can add. Or you can also write that take care of yourself. That can also be written in the third para. Again, like the length of first para and the third para is almost same, 2 to 3 lines. Don't write long ones, it's not required. And then coming towards the right hand side corner in the bottom, see, as I said, don't enclose the box before, because it might happen that the letter exceeds here. In here, like on the board, it was easy to do because I have written with a marker, I have a duster. But in exam, if you are writing with a pen, you have to cut the whole thing because whitener is not allowed in the exam. Keep this line vacant, leave the whole line, preferably don't leave any line after this. Right here, the salutation, gros bise. You can end by saying like ton ami, ton fille, like basically going towards the relation. Like who am I to the receiver? Like if I'm writing to a letter, you can write gros bise ton ami, tight hugs from your friend. Or you are writing to your mother, chère maman, gros bise ton fille. Dear mom, tight hugs from your son, right? Gros bise, I can write XYZ also. And if the name is given in the question like you are this, then no problem is there, no need to think too much. That's all for the format. These two places, please leave a line. It will make the letter really look neat. After the salutation also, leave a line here also, here also. Again, it would add to your neatness. Avoid any cuttings, avoid any grammatical error, avoid spelling errors. That would add up to the outlook and the appearance and the content to your letter, of the letter. And talking about the word limit, if it's given 80 mots or 80 words, make sure that you are not writing less than 80 words, because less than 80 will look really short and the examiner might, I'm not saying surely, might deduct some marks. For exceeding the word limit, there's no deduction as per CBSE guidelines, but it's like you can keep it between, if it's 80 more given, 80 to 100 will be fine. It will be perfect to write. Writing too long might create some kind of boredom to the evaluator also, because reading long letters is not interesting, right? So adhere yourself with the word limit given. And again, it's a 10 marker question most probably. In 12th, this 10 mark. For 8th, for 10th, I'm not quite sure. Like it was 2 years back I gave board. I didn't remember properly, but it was again 8 to 10 marks only. C'est tout pour aujourd'hui. That's all for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you have any doubt or suggestion, you may write that in the comment section below. You can also like my Facebook page by the same name, Learn French with Anubhav. C'est tout pour aujourd'hui. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Au revoir. N'oubliez pas que la langue française est l'amour.